All right. Good morning, everybody. I apologize for starting this a minute late. My computer decided to update, and then I signed on this morning, and like everything's closed, and I was like, "What the heck?" So my Zoom was updating. I was like, "Oh, geez." So we're here now. How's everybody doing? Hopefully, good. All right. Yep. Life in the tech world. I know. I was like, "Oh, look, I got all this time," and then my house cleaner was supposed to be here at 9, I think, and they're not here. So I'm like, please don't come while I'm doing hot seat. So gotta love all the things. Um, so how is everybody today? Oh, I can imagine, Sandra. I could imagine. That's amazing. All right. How's it going? Hello, everybody. Patty, I'm so glad to see you. All right. Well, I know more and more of you are popping on. So, as you are all joining, if there is anything that you would like to work on, go ahead and type it into the chat. Hello, hello. Okay, go ahead, type anything into the chat you would like to be coached on. Ellen, yeah, so that's for breakthrough mentorship. So that's right after this. And yeah, it'll be in the, if you submitted it on the form, it'll be in here. I got it. All right. Anything you'd like to be coached on today? Yes, Patty, I did. This is going to be a real short call if nobody wants to get coached. All right, Leona, we'll see if anybody else has anything, and then if not. Awesome. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Type into the chat anything you'd like to be coached on. All right. Great. I'm going to teach you how to activate, Andrea. Got you. All right. Ellen, let's do this. Let's see, what blocks do you have around being a coach?
Where do we start? I thought I clicked my video on too. There we are. Um,
You're
we
fine.
so the biggest thing that I'm running into right now is I hear like rely on my intuition, follow my intuition, and yet my conscious mind, the monkey mind brain keeps going, but I don't understand. I need more toothpicks. I need more structure. How do I do this? So hang on while I shut off the ringing phone in the background. Um, so I guess that's the biggest thing that I'm dealing with right now is just that feeling like learning to trust my intuition and the flow of the process and having enough support for my mind to say yes, I can do this. And then, the confidence and the all that, but, I hear it comes from doing it, so I'm doing it. And
Correct.
and I guess the only other piece is, and I don't know where this falls in me, is I really wanna do 5 full breakthroughs before August, and right now I have 1 scheduled and I don't have the other 4 scheduled, so I'd like to see if there's some block or something that's keeping me from sharing sharing what I do so that people are attracted to come work with me.
Perfect. All right. So, what's the most important thing? Because you had mentioned like having trust and flow in the process and like that support in your mind to kind of get you through this. So, what's the most important thing to have at the end of this that gets you those things?
Um, Clarity, like having my mind feel clear and that it knows what it's doing so that it, I have the I have some structure so that my mind is at ease so that I can follow my intuition.
Okay. What does it look like to have structure so that once you're in that structure, you can follow your intuition?
Um, I'm wondering if it is like some kind of like cheat sheet, so to speak, like a one-page sheet that says here's all the things that I know so that I have kind of a roadmap. Um, that seems like that would be probably the most helpful thing right now.
Perfect. So, what's important to you about having a roadmap?
So I don't get lost in the process, or I don't get my client lost in the process.
Well, how's it a problem if you do get lost in the process?
Um, so if I get lost or and I don't know how to get out, like I don't know how to get back to back on the right road or back on track, or or we won't get to the destination, and then this thought comes in is like, well, what's the destination? Like maybe it's just a journey. So maybe it isn't a problem that I got lost. I just got to someplace different than where I thought we were gonna go.
Yeah. And so, how is that a problem?
I guess it's not. And I look at it that way.
So, outside of like breakthroughs and the coaching and all of that, where else are you afraid of getting lost in the process?
lots of places,
Such as.
such as just driving around the new area that I live in, um, and not knowing where I'm going. So, you know, it's the relying on GPS to get me where I'm going. And yesterday I had to do a U-turn because they tried to take me in the exit. So, I
So
I guess it's only a problem if I think it's a problem. I just
so
found
putting this into the
I did
perspective of being afraid to get lost in the process. So you're like getting lost in this new place that you're living in. Does that stop you from going out and doing things?
no, it doesn't.
Does it stop you from acknowledging that you made a wrong turn and then fixing it and going the right way?
Nope.
And do you ever not end up where you need to be?
I eventually get there.
Okay. So then
Yeah.
what makes it different when it comes to coaching?
Oh, because I feel like I should be the expert, that I should know how to do this and do it right and don't make mistakes. And I guess there's a fear of like misguiding my clients. And yet, I'm sure my GPS didn't feel bad yesterday when I gave them a bad rating for not getting me to my destination and me having to turn around. So, you know,
Okay, I'm going to play on this metaphor for a little bit longer. And I'm just curious.
yeah.
At the end of the day, is it your GPS's responsibility to get you where you want to go, or is it you, the one who's driving the car's responsibility to get you where you want to go? Just curious.
Mine,
Yeah. So then,
mine.
if in this
It's just a,
metaphor,
it's just
you,
an aid or a tool.
so then if in this scenario, you, the coach, are the GPS, how is it a problem if at the end of the day, it is your client's responsibility to get where they want to be?
Hmm. It's, what was that question again? How is it a problem?
How's it a problem? And at the end of the
It is
day, it has nothing to do with you. You are
is it
you're
the
the
GPS?
you're holding the space. You're like, this is the roadmap, this is where we go. And then your client's like, we're gonna go this way. And you're like, great, we're just gonna reroute and we're gonna come back around this way. It'll take a little bit longer, but eventually we'll get over here. So how is it a problem if you don't do it right and you make some mistakes?
Hmm. I guess that's where the trust comes in. That I may find ways that it doesn't work, and then I find ways that it does work, and and maybe my client needs to go where they need to go. So if they need to go somewhere different than where I think they think where we were going, then it's just the process.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So you're saying that you feel you should be doing it right. Well, right according to who?
Well, I guess that's it. It's the control. Like I want to be in control. I want to make sure I'm doing it right and that the client gets the results that they want. But really it's up to the client to get to the destination that they want using your GPS analogy.
Yeah. So if you're experiencing this lack of self-trust and this need to control, right? To have this control. How is that impacting the way that you're viewing the work that you do?
Well, now that I look at it in that perspective, then I'm really like wrestling control from the client. Like I'm trying to direct their process instead of just guide them and hold space for them to go where they need to go. So, wow. Yeah, I got like full body flush on that.
So, how is it a problem if you're trying to wrestle control from the client?
Because it's their process and they're the ones that should be in control of their process. So I'm taking on a job that's not mine.
So, when you recognize that you're taking on a job that isn't yours, how does that make you feel?
A little anxiety about giving up control and a little guilt of that that's what I've been doing because that that's not my job. And so if I'm doing that, then I'm not doing my real job, which is to hold unconditional space for them to be where they are. So where I'm afraid of of doing it wrong and how I'm being in that is really the wrong place to be, if there's a right and wrong. But like,
I was going to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
according to who, right?
according to
To
who.
who?
A- And well, I guess I don't know how I want to say this. I'll just say it the way it's coming to me. That it's actually easier if I just hold this, do what I'm set to do, be who I'm supposed to be, is the coach and holding the space. And if I do that job, then it's really a lot easier on me and probably a lot easier on the client because then they don't feel like they're being pushed and pulled in a direction that maybe they don't want to go in.
I am all for making things easier for you.
Me too. Spent a lifetime of making things harder. It's nice to make things easier.
So, what's important about this goal of 5 breakthroughs by August, and like the sharing what it is that you do?
Um, to gain more confidence, to be a better coach, um, to really embody the process and understand it before I do additional evolved training and take it to the next level. Like I really want to like make sure that I know this level before I get to the next level.
Okay. So, what are you afraid of if you go out there and you do these 5 breakthroughs? if anything?
Um, I guess I'm really afraid that the clients won't get the results that they want.
So what do you take it to mean about yourself if they aren't getting the results that they want because of you?
And I've failed as a coach.
How specifically did you fail as a coach?
Um, that I've set an expectation of what they can expect out of a breakthrough. And maybe I need to get clearer on that. Um, and then they don't get that result. So it's it's like you said, is it up to the GPS or is that up to me to get to where I need to go? So um, taking on that responsibility of um client getting the results they want. And again, it's also up to them to get the results that they want,
Mm.
to do the work.
So I want to go back and pick on the self trust thing, right? Like having that big eyes there, having that trust in yourself, because if that's like in the holding of the space, you have to trust and be confident and know that you're going to get them exactly what they want, where they need to be at the end, right? So then if there isn't that element, then of course, right, you're going to feel as if you're setting up expectations that you can't meet. So when you think about going in and working with a client and you have no trust in yourself, how is that a problem?
Well, I'm not holding a good space for them. Um, so I'm already setting up a field of lack of trust. Um, and if I don't have trust in myself that know what I'm doing and can work through the process, then the doubts show up, and then I'm second guessing myself, and then the process isn't unfolding like it's supposed to unfold.
What do you need to have in order to share what you do?
Mhm. Any trust and confidence in myself. Um, it also feels like I need to let go of the outcome. go of control of the process. And what's coming to me right now is just go along for the ride, like a roller coaster. Like, just get on and see where we end up, which aligns more with my values of play and fun than what I'm experiencing over here at just the moment. Yeah, like just being more lighthearted and just going with the flow and letting go of all the seriousness and the have tos and shoulds and
So then you as the coach, if you when you have the trust and the confidence in yourself and you're able to let go of the outcome, let go of the control, you're able to just go along for the ride, go with the flow, and like enjoy the process, right? Have fun with it and like enjoy what it is you do. What would be the characteristics of you as a coach when you're all of these things?
confident, capable, fun to work with, make the process easy and fun. I have clients that actually enjoy doing the work, and I actually enjoy doing the work.
So when you're showing up as a coach who's confident, capable, is fun to work with, you're making the process easy and fun, and you and the clients enjoy the work, how does that impact the way that you share and speak and sell the work that you do?
Oh, it's like 180 degrees. There's
Mhm.
that I'd share it as something that's fun and easy and we can go deep without it being like slugging through the mud. Like, it could be like a roller coaster ride. It'd be fun if you like roller coasters, which I do. Yeah. So then, yeah, it would change completely how I share my work and how I bring it out into the world.
So then with that change in how you're sharing the work, how you're bringing it into the world and the overall client experience, right? When that's different, then I lost my train of thought. The words I was going to say left my brain. One sec. Okay. I'm going to restate the question. Hi. Okay. So when you have this 180-degree change, right? Totally new way of sharing this, of bringing it out into the world and your client experience. What is different then about how you show up as this GPS for your clients?
Oh, so I'm now the fun GPS with the fun voice and let's have a good time on the ride.
Perfect.
Let's see where we go.
One of
And it
the
may not be the most direct route, but it'll be the most fun route.
one of those fun GPSs with like the fun accents or the fun voices, and you're
I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. I need to bring that one back.
okay. So now you're a confident, capable, fun to work with, amazing coach. You're making the process easy and fun. You and your clients enjoy the work. The way that you share your work is totally different because it's fun. It's exciting. It's enjoyable to be in and around and talk about. And you're this really amazing, fun, having a good time GPS or coach for your clients, right? And you're taking them where you're guiding them on the route that they need to be on so that they can get the results that they want. So then what happens if you do something wrong or you make a mistake?
Ah, guess that gets back to your question, says who?
Yeah.
It just we just found a way that that took us in a different direction. And maybe we needed to go there, or maybe we didn't, and we can like a GPS, if I turn right and it says left, it will reroute me and we'll find another route. And maybe that was not where we were supposed to be going. And now we are going where we're supposed to be going. Like I don't have all the answers, so like letting go of that control again.
And what happens if you get lost in the process?
Mm. I can do what you just did. You can pause and get quiet and just think or look at a manual or look at my roadmap and or just trust my intuition and ask where we need to go now. Like what now? Or what's next? Maybe even ask the client what's next. Like find out what's going on with them. Like where they got to and how they are and just check in and then see where we need to go then.
And then, so then how does that impact your clarity?
Mhm. Well, that I don't need to have all the answers up front, but I can get the answers when I need them.
So what do you need to know in order to just release the control and the needing to have that control over the outcome?
Oh, just to trust in my intuition and my higher conscious mind know how to do this, and wherever we get to, I'll have the skills I need to get to do what's next in that moment. I don't have to have it all right now. It'll come when I need it.
So with all of this knowledge and amazingness, what does that structure look like so that you can follow your intuition?
I mean, part of me still would like to have like a sheet with all of the stuff that like all the tools that I have so that I, if I do get to a dead end that I can say, okay, which of these things, where should we go next? Um,
Awesome. We're starting paradigm shift coaching together soon. So check, that's the first thing we're doing. Next.
Next. Yeah. And just, yeah, just that in the moment that I'll if we hit a dead end, that I'll know where to go next.
Mhm.
Or we retrace our steps and figure out where we went and where we want to go back to, or where we want to go now. That feels better than like go back to, or like
Yeah.
like
Pick another rabbit hole.
get get to the same destination. Just pick another place to go.
So then, if you know that you have trust and confidence in yourself, and that you can let go of that control and the outcome, that's not a thing anymore. You are just hanging along for the ride, going with the flow. You're showing up knowing that you're confident and capable. Your clients know that you're fun to work with. You make this process easy and fun, and you enjoy the work. And the way that you share this work is from a place of excitement and love and joy, right? And you get to be this really fun, cool, creative GPS for your clients. And you know that you can trust your intuition. You know that you have a skill set to get your client to where they need to go next. Your action item is going to be putting the skill set from brain to paper so you can look at it.
Yeah.
Is totally fine and amazing, right? Because having a little like chart right here to be like, what tool can I pick? It's like looking through your toolbox. When you're like, where's that tool? You don't just like magically pull it out thin air. You like look through your toolbox. You like open this drawer, you open that drawer, you like lift this lid, right? So you look in your toolbox. You're just looking at your toolbox on your wall instead of in your garage or right, whatever. Okay. So
Yeah.
you know that you have the skills and the tools to get them where they need to be. It's a matter of just being able to identify it in the moment, which is totally normal, right? When you have so many different tools, you're like, which one's the best one for this problem? What's the best solution for this? Totally normal, not a problem. Okay. So when all of those things are true and you know that you have them all, do you feel like
Hmm.
you can have trust and flow in the process and have the support you need in your mind to take your clients where they need to go?
Yes.
And do you feel like once you have all of that and you know you are all of those things, that you have that clarity and can create the structure you need in order for you to then follow your intuition wherever it takes you?
Yes, I
Yay.
do. Yay.
So then when you think about going out there and selling 4 more breakthroughs, how does it feel to go out there and talk about it and sell it to somebody and take them on the journey?
It sounds like it feels like it'll be fun.
Yeah. So is there anything else you need to talk about today in order to feel whole and complete?
No, I can't wait to get on the phone and talk to people.
Yay.
Yay. Start calling people.
That's right.
Thank you.
Right.
Wow, that's a mindset change.
That's right.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait for you to keep sending me all your detailed personal histories on breakthrough mentorship.
Good, because you're going to get some more.
It's my favorite. So I'm so excited.
Yay.
There's 2 to go over today. So I'll see you on the next call.
Yeah, see
You
you on
too,
the next
Patty.
call.
I got detailed personal histories to look at. Okay. So I want to open it up for questions. So hang tight. You're free from all the things we talk about because you're like fantastic and amazing on this other side. And I do want to open it up for questions, comments, observations, any of the things that you can come up with. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. I'm really glad that metaphor resonated with a lot of you. Exactly. There's always options, right? It's like, do you want the toll road? Are you carpooling? Are you Do you want to avoid freeways? Do you want to go this way? Here's 5 routes. This one's the fastest. This one's like 5 minutes slower. This one takes this. So I love it. I'm glad that that resonated with you. Curious about following the control issue. So what specifically, Amy, about the control were you interested in? I want to be able to answer your question. So I'm sure you're typing. I cannot hear you. You have to type into the chat. Sorry. We're in a webinar. Oh, got it. So wondering about when, like the first time she thought she had to be in control. Absolutely. You could totally have taken it there, right? When was the first time you could have grabbed the no self-trust, the needing to be in control, and the guilt, right? Those were probably the 3 things I would have taken and gone deeper. The reason I didn't take it to like when was the first time, what did you need that you didn't get, like all of that, is because as we were going through this, she was already realizing all of the different things. She's like, oh, that's what I'm doing. I don't need to do that. Oh, that's what I was saying. I don't need that. Oh, really? That so she was already switching in her language. She was already seeing how the things that she was doing, she's like, that doesn't need to be a thing. She's like, that's ridiculous. Why am I making it harder on myself? I'm making more work for myself by trying to be in control. And I did check right at the, like, what do you need to know or have, right, in order to let go of that control? And it was just to trust her intuition and to know that she has the skills to get to the next step. And then she was like, and I know I trust my intuition and I know I have the skills. I just need to put them on paper. So I was like, great, that's an action item. That's not something we need to do in a coaching session. That's like a, now go sit there and write down every single skill that you have on a piece of paper. You can make it pretty later, but brain dump all your skills and then put them somewhere where you can see them. So, and then I checked once she had that, the control wasn't a problem. She didn't need it. She could just be like, oh, yeah, my client is going to go where they need to go. I'm just going to kind of be like I just think of it as like the little bumper rails when you go bowling. So you're like, we're not going to have a gutter ball, right? And you have this whole lane to play in. And I'm just going to be these little bumper rails. You're going to get to the end. You're going to knock a pin over, right? That's kind of how I see like being a coach, right? Kind of like the GPS metaphor. It's like, I don't need to control the outcome. I know the outcome is going to happen, but I can support you in staying within where we need to be to get you to the outcome, right? Because if we put the bumper rails down and you get a gutter ball and then there's no pins get hit, the outcome isn't what they wanted, right? So you're kind of like those little bumper rails. So that's the picture I have in my head. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, great. Yeah, so that's why I didn't go back to that first event. She was already starting to switch. Now, if this was somebody else or she was in a totally different space and was like, oh my gosh, and she's just spiraling, she's like really dug in on the control, absolutely, I would have gone deeper on the control. But it wasn't as like imperative, right? It wasn't this like retching it from away from her, right? So as we went through, she's like, oh, I don't need to do that. That's ridiculous. Why am I doing that? Right. She was able to then see how the things that she was trying to do were actually not serving her and not serving her clients. And then once she realized she has what she needs in order to not have the control, she's like, oh, great, out of here. Peace out, control. Yeah, I love that like, let's go do it. Let's go sell this. Let's go out there and call some people. Another action step, right? So when we talk in about coaching, right, we want to leave them with inspired action steps. And a lot of time they'll come up very naturally, very organically within the coaching process. And then sometimes they don't, and you have to like craft them. So Ellen just like started spitting them out. She's like, we're going to make a list of all my skills. We're going to call people and sell breakthroughs. We're going to do 5 breakthroughs by August. She's like, let's get shit done. Oh, 100% Amy, right? The reason I did that was because she had like way in the beginning, she's like, oh, I think there's blocks around sharing what I do. So at I'm like at the bottom of my page, because that's where my notes were. I was like, okay, so what do you need to have in order to share what you do? I need to have this. Okay, great. Right. So when you have all of those things, what are the qualities and characteristics of the coach that you'll be? Oh, I'll be this and this and this and this. So then I started just saying that she is those things, right? I'm like, well, you are them. You can do this. You've already been talking about doing this. So let's just like make it happen. Can I clarify the shift from the heaviness of the roadmap? Once control release, there was permission to have a toolbox. Yeah. Absolutely. Great question. So at the beginning, it was this like, I need this structure, this roadmap, or this cheat sheet so that I can essentially it's like those bumpers that I was talking about, where it's like that's your structure. Your intuition can bounce around wherever it needs, but it's in the structure. Eventually I'll coach her so she doesn't even need the structure. I should just do whatever she wants with her intuition. But that's not yet. Right now, we're just going to roadmap, and that's fine because you're going to meet your clients where they're at always, even though you know that they're very capable of amazing things. It just takes a second for them to see it. So once Ellen is very comfortable with her roadmap and very comfortable with all the skills that she has, she won't need it anymore. She won't need the structure. She'll just be like, I got my intuition. Heck yeah. But not yet. So I did ask, like, what was the purpose of the roadmap? What does she need? Like, what, like, in my brain, I'm asking why does this need to be a thing? But that's not the question I'm asking out loud. I never want to ask a why question. So I'm asking, like, for what purpose is this here? What's important about it? What do you get from it? All of these things, right? Those are the kinds of questions I'm asking. Hers was very chunked up, but it was very simple, right? It was like, so I don't get lost. I don't want to get lost in the process. If I get lost in the process, I don't know how to get back out, right? Well, then how's that a problem, right? Where else does that happen? That's where I cross contextualize, because I was like, I want to know where else this might be a pattern, because of how chunked up it was. If it was super specific, I might have needed to chunk her up in order to cross contextualize. I might have needed things to get a bit more vague for her to see a pattern in her life. But she started up here. So I was like, great, we're just going to find that pattern. And that's where the GPS came from. And I was like, that is the most perfect thing you could have ever said. That was like the best metaphor ever. So in order to know that she can create this structure and this roadmap that she needs, that's what she was then able to release the control from. She's like, once I can just essentially brain dump and put brain to paper all of the skills that I have in the road, and like what the skills are most useful for, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to use the energy release process if there's stuck energy, right? I'm going to use this if there's this, right? Kind of having this ability to recognize, see all your tools, right? It's always hard. We use the toolbox metaphor. You can never find the tool you need if they're all thrown in there with no organization. So it's like, if you're like, I need a very specific screwdriver and I can't find it, right? If you don't have a specific place for screwdrivers, then you're going to be looking forever, which is where I'm mind reading that Ellen was coming from. She's like, I have all these things and they're kind of just thrown in this like tool bag. I don't know what I'm looking for, right? Versus like having a really nice organized toolbox so you can like open drawers and they're labeled and it says screwdrivers, hammers, wrenches, and all of the other tools, right? And she could be like, I need a wrench. And she can open the wrench drawer and she can pick the wrench she needs, right? Instead of like digging through this bag, she's like, not that, not that, not that, not that. And it feels like it takes forever, right? So like, it's okay to want and have the structure and the organization and that until you're comfortable in it. Then it becomes muscle memory. Then it's like, I don't even need to think about what drawer the screwdriver's in. I could just walk up to my toolbox, open the door, get the one I need because it's already in my brain, right? So instead of trying to have this like perfect mental picture of where everything is and all of your tools, right? All of your skills, all of your abilities, stop trying to make yourself further ahead than you are. It's okay to be where you're at. You could just be where you're at for a minute and then get to where you want to be. So Ellen's like, I need to just see it. I need to have it on a piece of paper where I can just look at it and say, these are the things I do. And then after a while, she won't need to look at it. But until then, she's going to have it. So don't deprive yourself of a resource because you think you shouldn't have the thing. It's okay to have the thing. Use your resources. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I tend to go on a lot of those. All righty. Any other questions, comments, observations, love, anything you would like to share? I'm so glad you guys are all here. Oh, 100%. Yeah, a lot of, and I think I'm going to step back up on my soapbox now. I think it's one of those things especially in this like personal development world where it's like, well, you need to be way over there. And you're like, I'm not there yet. And you're trying to put yourself there and it's not working. And then that's when you get frustrated. It's when you're like, I don't want to do this. Maybe this isn't for me. Blah, 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 blah. Like that story you tell yourself. But it's like, stop trying to put yourself further than you are. Recognize where you're at and then take the next best step forward. You are not sprinting a marathon, right? It's okay to run in some places. It's okay to take a little break. It's okay to walk. It's okay to do what you need to do to get to the end, to get to where you want to be, which is like way over here, right? So you deserve to respect yourself and where you're at. And everybody's at a different place in their journey, which is why we don't compare ourselves to other people, especially in the personal development world. There's people who have done personal development for like longer than I've been alive. And there's people who are like just now starting personal development. And there's people who are like kind of somewhere in the middle. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this, where you're at, and all the things. Your journey is your own journey. So stop comparing it to other people's journeys. They're not the same at all in any stretch of imagination. I will get back off my soapbox now. Thank you very much. I'm very passionate about you guys just like being yourselves and stop trying to like do things where it's like, no, you get to be you. Thanks, Tina. Like if I could like talk like this on a stage, I would go do so many stage talks. If I could just be like, stop it. Can I coach people from stage? Maybe. I probably could. That's a limiting decision I've got. Maybe I can't coach myself on the next hot seat. That would be funny though. Okay. Love it. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to my very passionate ranting at the end. Look at her. She's making her roadmap. It says client journey. How cute. See, look at, she's like getting into act. She's not waiting. This is somebody who's going to go out there and she's going to crush it. She's going to do amazing because she's like, inspired action. I'm going to get started on that right now. You guys are amazing. Thanks, guys, for showing up, for being so awesome and holding the space and allowing Ellen to go on her own client journey. I will see you all next week. I will see you all next week. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, Isabella. I appreciate it.
You're so
Blessings.
welcome.
And thank you to everybody that held space.
Bye, everybody.